Did you see that South Park? Did you see any clips from that South Park episode about Trump?
Not yet. And I always get sassy about South Park, but they are always on the money. They are always so. I didn't want to watch it yet because I'm like, is it as good as it sounds?
For my money, South Park's the greatest television show of all time.
You have always said that,
and I have always said that. I have watched it since I was like in grade 5.
Yeah.
And what it is that no matter who you are, at some point, South Park's going to piss you off because they're going to make fun of you, or somebody you believe in, and they're going to do it in the most embarrassing, silly, ridiculous, childhood humor sort of way, but also in a way. And what they've done, especially in the last 15 years, is they've really perfected like a message. During the first like lead up to Trump, in the Hillary Trump campaign in 2015, 2016. They thought Hillary was going to win. They're like, there's no way this a-hole's going to win.
Yeah.
And so they had a Trump character who was actually Mr. Garrison, the grade school teacher.
Yeah.
And they had Caitlyn Jenner, who had just transitioned, and they were on sort of first before we all found out, oh yeah, Caitlyn Jenner sucks.
They knew it. They were like, she has horrible views and is mean. Yeah.
Yes, horrible views, and she had literally just killed someone in a car.
Yes.
And so they mentioned that on the show, and people didn't want to talk about that, but so they kind of shone a light on that, and that was like, but what happened was when Trump actually won, it was so preposterous that even South Park didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So the creators sort of stayed away from it and went a different direction. And so they did a whole season on the legalization of marijuana, and they did seasons on gentrification and a whole bunch of different other subjects that are, pretty relevant to today's world. But they have been embroiled in, Jax, a merger situation. So the same company that owns CBS, which obviously canceled the Colbert Report, which we talked about last week.
Yeah.
They also, Paramount, they own the rights to South Park because they own Comedy Central, and South Park is on the Paramount Plus app. And so long story short, they were delaying the start of this show because they were A, in contract negotiations, B, worried about what these guys were going to do. And so they start the show, Jax, with the whole town is in one room, all the characters that you knew and grew up with, and they're talking about what kind of bribe they'll have to pay Trump in order to stay on the air. So instantly, they're right up front with it. Then they finish that first little segment and they say, we'll have to pay him $3 million and we're going to have to have pro-Trump messaging in all of our stuff. So they go directly to a Donald Trump commercial that is AI generated and it looks like him. It's scary. And he's walking through the desert and it's like, Donald Trump works for you and he works hard for you. And it's so embarrassingly on point.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the commercial, he gets naked and his male member says, this ad was paid for by Donald Trump. And it's very tiny. And what's crazy is, Jax, they didn't censor the male part, the appendage.
Good.
It just aired. And they have the right to do that based on their contract, even though Paramount said, please censor that. They didn't do it. And it got such a reaction that the White House actually responded to it.
I saw the statement come out, and so I knew that and because of how ridiculous the statement was, I was like, oh, South Park really pissed them off. Really,
like they got him because the whole episode, because Trump is like
they went right
back in the day,
like they tore him a new one, right? So that's good.
Yes.
I'm glad that they didn't go half in or like kind of dance around it. They like went right for the jugular.
Back in the day, they had a character for Saddam Hussein, who was in a gay relationship with the devil.
Yes.
And the whole movie, that South Park movie, is based on this relationship. And now Donald Trump is in a relationship with the devil, and it's so here's what the
I will say that I don't know what the relationship, like using him being in a gay relationship as like a kind of and he's in a gay relationship. That's like, that doesn't need to be added.
Well, I think
they're brilliant, but they use gay, they weaponize gay. Yeah, I will say that. That's
totally understand how that lands. Yeah. I get that. That. And I think if you watch it, you'll understand sort of where they come. Because what I would say is that it's less about being gay, more about this guy's acting like a macho man, so we're gonna knock you down a few pegs.
Well, he's also
to your base.
Yeah, he's also homophobic, right? So I guess that would be and transphobic and everyone phobic. So it's being like, we're gonna make you everything that you say is bad. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, that's sort of the point, but I understand where I totally understand how that comes across. In the context of your show, it makes sense. Now, the White House said this show has been relevant for over 20 years and is hanging on by a thread with uninspired ideas. In a desperate attempt for attention.
Oh, for God's sake.
President Trump has delivered on more promises in just 6 months than any other president in our country's history, and no fourth-rate show can derail President Trump's hot streak. And I want to say this.
Like, what? That sounds like, that sounds like I didn't break up with them, they didn't break up with me, I broke up with them. Like, that sounds defensive.
Yes. And what's crazy, Jax, is they just signed a 5-year, $1.5 billion deal.
Oh, my God.
Like, literally 2 weeks ago. So it's just, and you know what's amazing though, is like we talked about last week and we talked about this a lot. The bad guys seem to be winning. News organizations are backing down. Mm-hmm. Law firms are backing down. The entire Democratic Party seems just unwilling to fight back.
Yeah, like they're scared.
Right? Like they're scared. They're all scared. And two stoners from Colorado put out a show and the White House has to respond to it.
I love it. I love it.
That's like, that shows you what art can do, doesn't it? It could really, it really can speak to power. And I want to take, because I think that's breathtaking. Like, think about what president responds to a television show.
A cartoon.
Like a cartoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
And I think I really do think using whatever medium your art is to have voice. Like, when big voices are being quiet, you can still have a voice. So, and that's why I love platforms like, TikTok and Instagram and, Meta is many things. And there's a lot of things like blatantly being censored right now, but like finding whatever platform you can to have a voice is incredibly, incredibly important as of now, whether it's like a large cartoon show or whether it's like your TikTok account that has 4,000 followers. Like, your voice is more important than ever, especially in non-traditional ways, right? So I love that.